have 5 minutes. I'm counting. Left. 2 minutes.
Less than 3 ideas. At least
1 minute.
At least 5, 6, 7 ideas, and start making the top 3 of your ideas.
Time is over.
Okay. Can I please, for each group now, can you please decide on the test protocol, which means you make now a description, which you're going to shout out to the group, of what you would like to test before you're testing it. So what's your best idea and how you're going to test this? Okay, so you select one way to do this, and you tell me exactly how you're going to perform it. Just like in real life. Okay, everybody's got it selected?
One way is just to put some needle, make the hole, and then cross the straw. That is more efficient than time, not less time consuming. Second one is break the straw into 2, put one piece here, you will feel it's crossed.
Okay, you need to select one. I want one per group.
One per group.
We're going to smash the potato and then we put the straw through.
Mashed potato.
Squeeze the potato so it becomes softer.
Squeeze the potato.
Squeeze the potato so it becomes softer, and then some kind of...
What's the best?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not big. Okay. Well.
Can we make a hole with our fingers in the potato and then put a straw?
So you're going to do it with your finger. I hope you have strong nails. Boil the potato. Well, how are you going to boil it? Okay, you can try that.
Okay, who else?
Yeah?
We're going to just bite halfway through the potato, make a track, where as the same way as our teeth are, and then just thread the straw through that.
Okay.
Great. Okay, if I can just make us win a little bit of...
Somebody else wants to?
Our ideas are already taken, so we have no new ideas.
Somebody, last group, who wants to share an idea? Okay. So, in order to make us win time, what I propose to you, this is what comes out of a group, this type of ideas, often. So, how could we do better now? What would you propose to do better than what you have so far? So, smash the potato, make a drill with a finger. How can we do better? Yes?
Can we put the straw if it's sharp enough, then I think we can do it, like, just push it.
Just do. Yeah, why? That would be. Yes.
We can get benefit from the others' ideas and like choose the best one that we think is a good one, and combine with our like opinions and get a better idea maybe.
Yeah, indeed. You could also, you know, one of the feelings that I want to get across is when you're dealing with a real problem and you're solving it, you're often going back to what you already know. The key is in your problem definition, and hence similar situations stay. So a saying that we use to make things simple is, it's easier to make a very wild idea feasible than to do the reverse. This is what you've been doing so far. And that's what unfortunately happens to most people, especially with strong technical backgrounds. You start with a feasible thing, and you try to make it very new. It's extremely hard to do. It's almost impossible. So when you know that you're looking for an innovative solution, something different than the others, you'd better start out with something very different, very new, intriguing, and then gradually, with your technical specific skills, build in the feasibility, step by step. Okay, so that's one of the first things. So, I give you some straws, some people want to try it out. There was one group that said, just do it. Yeah? Come on, let's distribute the straws, and see who wins here. We can get a couple. Okay? Okay? Distribute them. This is just to give you the feeling. Okay. Yeah, I see. Ooh, good solution, look at it. Elegant. So we have a first group that did it here. Another group. Try to do is make something which inherently is difficult. creative process simpler and easier to understand with a couple of simple metaphors and make groups more performant. Because innovations today are coming from groups, not just from individuals. Creativity is not an endpoint. It's retrospectively that people say, oh, this was a brilliant creative idea. Sure, but before getting there, the guy, whoever genius he might have been, actually made gazillions of mistakes. Right? So creativity is an activity. You should see it as an activity. And if I can give you the type of metaphor that we use at Thinking Arch to stimulate this, is saying, okay, you have a start, which is the now. The problem as you know it. The solutions as you know it. You know you want to get somewhere else in the future with a better solution. Okay? A better solution might be a little bit better or a lot better, but you want to get a really better solution. What are you confronted with in reality? All types of blocks. My colleagues mentioned this. These blocks are of different nature. There's mental blocks. There's a variety of types of blocks. So what you want to put in place with your team is a way to overcome this, to overarch this. That's the process that you sense now. And that's the process that is going to be more and more crucial to get really good at. Not just once, but permanently. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you do this on a main idea, your vision, and afterwards on all the alignments, all the different implementation details. And your group needs to follow you. Your group needs to be entrepreneurial. That's why this is an activity of a group that you need to get good at if you want to be really entrepreneurs. Okay? If we make a zoom in, what does this mean, this movement? This movement means that temporarily you identify what your blocking points is. Why are we, for example, competing with the table? Why do we have so much fear to push this one through? Because some stereotypes block us, etc., etc. The identification of these blocks will help us to do this voyage. Now, there's a very crucial point in here, just in like in a real arch. I don't know if some of you know architecture. A real arch holds because of this, the clé de voûte. It holds it all together. And research from Harvard shows the following. This is where creativity happens. Motivation, skills in the domain. Are you a PhD? Are you among the top 10, 15 that knows the domain really well? Okay? And the last one, but not the least one, the thinking skill. The research from show. This triangle is where creativity happens. It's the mix of those elements that are necessary. Motivation. Are you really motivated to get this done? With the potato perhaps might have been average, right? But before you go yourselves in an entrepreneur role, are you really motivated? What are you changing? What's other motivation than money? What's your real deep core motivation? Make sure you've got that. Okay? Do you have to align the right skills? Because if not, you might just have a great idea, you wouldn't even know that it's a good thing to do. And the thinking skills. Now let's zoom in the thinking skills where we, and bear with me, try a little bit. The thinking skills, people tend to believe in, well, intelligence, etc. That's good. Creativity is some kind of weird thing. It's the same. Intelligence, creativity, it's the same human or skill. Now, there's a couple of different ways of thinking that need to be combined to get what we call pragmatic creative thinking. So people talk about left brain, right brain, etc. I tend to more go for hands. You know, you see I'm a tactical guy, handing out potatoes. It's left hand and right hand. Now what's the difference? Left-handed thinking, if I may so may call it, is the thinking where you get more possibilities. You expand your viewpoint on possibilities. Yeah? And it's a crucial skill. It's where you get more and more possible ideas. The right-handed thinking is where you make decisions. Which ideas are you keeping, which aren't? And this process, again, is not static. It's not once. It's like canoeing. It's left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. And it's those teams that are the fastest at coordinating this, the rhythm, the speed, that progress with their canoe. This is not a one-time off, like we had a brainstorm session and now we have a brilliant idea that's now implemented for the next year. That does not work anymore in our world of today. It's the left hand and the right hand skill. Getting many possibilities open and then making the right choices. That's a couple of the things that I wanted to share. And now I won't take more of the time.
Interesting experiment. Okay, thank you. So we are running out of time, I guess. So I will try to. Yes, we have 15 minutes.
Half an hour. Open the floor for questions.
Yes, yes. So we have 15 minutes for Q&A, and I give more time to the audience to ask questions.
So what I see from this is a kind of internal creativity or within your team or within your own mind. But a lot of times you have to kind of sell, in a sense, your creativity or sell your creative ideas or a process or something. So what are some ways to kind of really convince people who are kind of stuck in, you've shown some already, but really convince institutions or businesses to try something new, to try what you're proposing, to get them out of the box? I mean, because these things, they work week by week by week by week, and they have bottom lines and whatever. How do you get them thinking differently?
That's a great question. Now, it's clear that in corporations, in most corporations, you have the operational reality of the day. And that's a benefit, actually, for the innovation process. As long as you have top management